Hi, I'm Jeevanjot Singh and I'm currently pursuing my BTech Software Engineering from Delhi Technological University and I'm in my third year. So I am a student of Jamboree and I recently gave my GRE exam on the 3rd April 2018 and I scored a perfect 340 out of 340. It's a great feeling and I didn't expect it, to be honest, even till the day I gave my exam. And I even checked again to make sure it's my score and not the maximum allowed marks which were being flashed on the screen. So I mean, it's a great feeling. So I informed my dad first, and there was a missed call already on my phone, so I just called him up, and he asked me how the exam was, and I was like, yeah, it was good. And he then asked me what the score was, and so I said it's 117 both sections, and he was like, are you sure? He had the same doubt that, are you sure there wasn't another page which showed your marks, and that maybe 170 was the maximum allowed marks. Okay, so for preparing for GRE, there's 3-4 things which you can mainly concentrate on. Firstly, you have to be consistent in your studies. You don't have to study a lot, but you have to be consistent. You should not skip weeks or days just because you think you'll make it up later. No, you should just study 1 hour a day or maybe 1.5 depending on your needs, but you should be consistent with it, because if you skip a week, you'll have to redo everything you've done before that almost. And before the exam, you have to remain calm and confident, because it's not a very high technical skill based exam, but it needs a lot of application of mind, of the basic fundas, but you need application of mind, so you need to be calm and composed. Then specifically for the exam, I'd also say vocabulary plays a very important role. So 10 or 12 questions are basically directly based on your vocabulary, like you need to have a good vocabulary for them. And for that, what I did was I did all the vocabulary lists from the Jamboree app. So I went through them in about 1.5 months or so, and then I kept revising the difficult words. And once I was through with that, those 10-12 questions were booked. For the comprehension part, I'd say you just need to have a good reading habit, and I'd really encourage you to inculcate this habit. At least at the very latest, you need to start reading books and newspaper in your once you start your college. I personally have been reading novels since my school time, so it wasn't such a big deal for me. But even if you haven't done such a thing, you should just start now. It's not too late. So I just started my preparation in January and I gave my exam in April, so it's 3 months, and even in those 3 months I had 2-3 weeks which I had to dedicate to my college for my exams. So I'd say 2.5 to 3 months, even 2 months maybe are enough. It depends on how well you already have how well your reading skills are already developed, how easy you think the quant section is, because that depends on our backgrounds, right? So for me, the quant section was almost already ready. So I just focused mainly on my verbal section and practicing quant so that I don't make any silly mistakes. And I think 2 months to maximum 3 months is enough for anyone. As I said, except those 3 weeks in which I was preparing for my college exams, if I just give every day 1 to 1.5 hours, and honestly, you don't need more than that. You just reach a saturation point, so you don't really need to do more than that. Be consistent with the 1.5 hours daily. I think there's 2 things that play a big role. Firstly, definitely mock tests. So if you don't give mock tests, it does not matter how good your preparation is, you will not be able to be calm and you won't have confidence in yourself, right? So you definitely need to give at least 5 to 10 mock tests. In the last 15 to 20 days before your exam, you definitely need mock tests. And the second thing is you need to, throughout your preparation, you need to be calm and just give it your best. You don't worry about the results. It's not a difficult exam. You just need to be calm throughout your preparation. It's not just the last day. And also just the day before exam, don't study at all and go out, chill, have a party. That's it. So I had 2 books which Jamboree provided me with. So I did both of those books, and in addition the vocabulary lists, which are also a part of the book, but I preferred doing it from the app, the Jamboree app. and yeah, even I didn't even do much of the official guide. Just like went through it, just read it, but I didn't do any questions or anything. The Jamboree books and mock tests. Jamboree has a very good, first of all, Jamboree has a very good faculty to student ratio, which I think helps a lot, because GRE is about personal attention to every student, and the lesser workload on the single faculty, the easier it is for the faculty to help. Then the systematic approach provided by Jamboree really helped. Throughout the classes, you automatically start using those approaches, and they allow you to make less mistakes. Like all my faculty were really nice, and they helped me throughout. They're very approachable and friendly, and that's the biggest thing I think. For me personally, quant was never much of a doubt, and so as verbal was the part where I focused the most, I'd like to thank Ankit sir, who was my verbal faculty. Especially, like, all my faculty were great, and I'd like to thank them all, but especially Ankit sir, because verbal was my the part which I needed to work on. So firstly, I researched through my colleagues in my college, and also on Quora and on the internet in general, and mostly people had recommended Jamboree or Manya Princeton, and so I went to both of them, and the difference which I felt was that Princeton had a more business-like approach, whereas Jamboree felt more education oriented to me, and so I just chose Jamboree. And again, the one major difference is also that the number of students that a faculty is assigned is lesser in Jamboree, which was a big factor for me, and so I decided on Jamboree. So the 3 tips would be just staying calm. Firstly, and almost the most important thing is just staying calm. It's all about just applying your mind. You can't apply your mind if you're stressed out or anything. So you have to stay calm. Give a lot of mock tests, because they test your stamina, and stamina plays a big factor in a 4.5 hour exam. So definitely give a lot of mock tests, and they also give you a lot of confidence. And then again, check your weaknesses. Mainly work on your weaknesses, because for me it was verbal and vocabulary. So I worked on my vocabulary for 2.5 months, and that's what helped me ace the exam. Just analyze, find your weaknesses, and work on your weaknesses.